Chapter number 3, designing of operational system and control. Okay. Designing of operational system and control is clearly dealt in two aspects. One is with respect to product. Again, actually, is not first this one and second that one. It depends on how I deal with it. Okay. So one aspect is dealt with product and another aspect is dealt with process. Probably when you talk about two objectives, whatever the business is, you remember one is you need to satisfy the customer needs, and another one is with the resource which you have to do it. So, probably if I say my aspect is process oriented, which means I'm focusing this objective first. That is, whatever the resources I have, with the help of those resources, I'm trying to match with the product. In case I want to satisfy the customer needs, their wants, then my focus will be on the product. And already we have discussed this in very detail that you cannot say which one has to be given priority and which one has to be given less than high priority. Okay, we have discussed this earlier. So we have to discuss both the angles. So one is with respect to product design and another one with respect to if you define the product, there will be the process involved directly, and along with that, we discuss with respect to the processes. Okay. Just now, just before coming to the session, I just went through this article, Mahindra and Mahindra. See, our SM case studies on Mahindra and Mahindra. Probably we can take the help of same group over here also. Actually, the article is about SUVs. Okay, so how Mahindra and Mahindra capture the platform. Okay, so the article starts this way. Probably after the session, I'll share the article. It's really see, when I read some articles, the English, how it is being defined, how it is being, the lines, how it is crafted, such a way is beautifully crafted. You'll not get it in all the newspapers, which means all the digital newspapers. So they start like saying it is dealt pre-COVID era and post-COVID era. So pre-COVID, like when we go for the market share of SUVs, not Mahindra's SUVs, general SUVs, it was like something around some I think less than 30% only. I think 27% or something like that. Less than 27, less than 30% only. SUVs were capturing the market when you go for domestic automobiles. Okay. But after that, post COVID, whether you go for a highway drive or whatever it is, see, many don't prefer SUV. Only reason is if you sit, you won't feel like sitting in a comfortable way. Okay, you feel like sitting in a high seated arrangement. That's why many did not like. So that's what happening before COVID. But after COVID, what has happened is many started liking that way of seating arrangements. Whenever you go for a highway drive, also, okay, and you won't believe it's almost capturing somewhat like 57 or 60% of the market domestic vehicles. So earlier it was like sedan and other models, and now it is SUVs. This was highly invited. See, we know the SWOT analysis, right? So this was like an opportunity for Mahindra and Mahindra because if you go for any other branded automobiles, they were focusing on sedan, they were focusing on SUVs, all the models. But Mahindra and Mahindra have a very good platform because its base itself is steel and giving utility vehicles, so Jeep and that model, and also it has its base for SUVs and it helps for clicking it easily. Okay. So you can just have a glance on that reading. It was good. Okay. So let me take away with 3.1 product design. So when you talk about, see, our heading is, let me clean the board. Our heading is designing of operational systems and control. Okay. So obviously under operation management, we need to know what do you mean by operation system, right? And obviously how we are going to take over it, control. To understand this in a better way, we are now discussing in these two angles, product and process. So why I need to talk about designing a product? Okay, probably I'm a table manufacturer. Okay, probably many things we have discussed. I'm a table manufacturer. When I talk about designing a product, okay, how do you design? Probably you're going to buy a table for your home. How you expect the design to be? Just some two or three points. We shall gather a few. How it would be? Probably we'll fix the area. Take it as dining table. Okay. Yes. I'm not asking which dining table you have at your home. I'm asking which one you would like to have in your future. So definitely now is it's just two or three. Now we are all students only, we cannot expect more. But future you are auditors. Okay, you can expect more then. Okay, tell me with a grandeur look. Yes, please share. With an aquarium below the table. Okay, all fishes floating inside the table and you above. Okay, yes, you can plan for the shape of the table, a round shape or rectangular shape, okay, or square shape, okay, or triangle shape. Triangle shape. Even though it's round shape, you're going to sit in triangle only. Okay. Any shape. நம்ம ஆடிட்டர் ஆயிட்டோம்னா எந்த ஷேப்ல உட்காந்துருந்தாலும் சாப்பிடலாம் என்ன சொல்றீங்க? Okay. What else? See, this is about designing a product, right? Depending on this, I'll be designing. Okay. What else different feature you might be expecting? Carvings. Okay. That will show you luxury. Ah, colors. Okay. Probably some themes may be there. So it might be aligning with your kitchen backdrops, or it might be aligning with special dining areas, whatever it may be. So now and all we have this island tables, right, in the kitchen directly. It will be used as island table and also it will be multi-purpose. Everything can be done in the table. Okay. And also you can go for leg area. I can talk about having three legs or four legs. I don't think so more than that. Okay, why not? Sometimes you'll be having like one platform like this. Okay, center there'll be like two legs and there'll be a support for three angles. So it may be of this type, whatever it is. See, now we have to fix what type of a table you're going to manufacture. Okay. So you're planning to manufacture this leg, have it as round table. Okay. Leg is probably this type of a leg. So one round and below that one support with four or five arm support. Okay. So you're planning for this five arm support table. Okay. And this arm support need to have the carvings, as you said. Okay. So if this is my design, then this design of the product will clearly mention you what are the things needed to design this product. So the features or the specs of the product will tell you what the product is going to be, which means what is your manufacturing system is going to be. Okay. Again, this round, the tabletop, this round is made of wood or steel or plastic or glass. Okay. If it is a glass, then what would be the bottom support? Okay. If it is a steel, what should be the bottom support? If it is wood, means I think so that most of the wood is completely wood only. But when you go for round, it's going to be that steel, not steel, glass top. Glass top will be a glass material, but below will be steel or wood. It can be different. So everything will be so seeing the design of the product. Design means what? We are talking about the features or spec of the product. We can clearly tell what are the operation systems is needed over here. Okay. So that's why we design a product. So obviously we need to understand the marketing mix. Actually, it's not going to be marketing mix, it's going to be product mix. We can change it. And that's going to create a value for the customers. Okay. And why we need to have this value chains. So we want to give value for the customers, means we need to have some reasons for this, right? So probably it's triggering some demand and there should be need some quality and attributes. Attributes means specs or features or whatever. So what do you mean by product design? I request to highlight this heading. This is a normal heading, the first one. This one is quite important. What is product design? Let me go word by word. A collection of interdependent, please highlight, directional activities, okay, that are planned and executed in a structured and planned way to develop value propositions. So that's what adding value to the customers. Value proposition to be offered to the end customers for fulfilling their needs. Okay. So probably if we have a clean loop on this, we'll come across two objectives. One is customer satisfaction, so satisfying their needs, and another is what is the business you have? You're mobilizing them. Okay, beautiful. So let me go for the next setting. So it's an important strategic decision. So objective, you need to develop the product as per the needs of the customer with an objective to provide optimum value and to minimize the cost. The lead time, that is the design to the market. What do you mean by the lead time is I am designing a particular design of the product and it has to reach the market very early. Else, another one person, the competitor will be taking up the market. Then why? What speciality in mind? See, nowadays this Tar, Mahindra's Tar is very famous. Okay, and because of the look, because of the aesthetic look, and because of the color selection and all, everything is there. Probably that might be taken over by another person. Okay, in a very short period of time, and also to maximize the resource utilization. So these are the objectives. Importance, yes, please highlight this heading. Importance, probably you may get this as a post question, or if anything is asked related to product design, I request you to write this line. See, a distinct product design stands as an award-winning criteria for the organization. Again, Mahindra Star or Scorpio. Okay. Establishes detailed characteristics. Okay. Provides the technical requirements. So, what are the technical requirements and what are the processes involved in this? So, probably if you talk about the star, it gives with what was automated driver assistance, ASD something it was. AD, ADA is something it was. Okay, I don't get that expansion. Automated driver assistance system, I think. Okay, maybe. Probably you have this self parking mode. There you can go and stand over, fix over the area. It will automatically park its vehicle. Okay, you need not. So you go for that auto mode. So if you go for that auto driver mode, it will directly park your vehicle. So it's all everything is there. See, because of this technical requirements, the technological requirements, and the process is defined by the features specs itself. So it is actually providing a guideline. Okay, and necessary impetus is what is the requirement for the production and operation strategy is also involved. Okay, let me turn over. So it's having a very big impact. One is on competition, one is on end users, and one is on employment also. Probably when I go for the third one, on employment, it might not be having a direct impact, but it has an indirect impact because if you're booming in your industry, then definitely that is going to be helpful for the employees over there. Okay, it's not actually having a direct impact. And when you go for the competition side, it enables to stay ahead in the competition and sustain in this VUCA world, which means the nature of the world is volatile, uncertain, and it's complex and ambiguous. Okay. And end users, yes, we can have this long-term relationship with them. Okay. When you say it's a good design, when you say a design is a good one, it should be user friendly. You have to look out to the features. It should be aesthetic. It should be reliable, and it should be durable, innovative, and appropriate. Appropriate means it should be related to me. Okay, it should be suitable to me. Okay. Actually, when I've seen all these pretty videos where in Bangalore you can see many BMWs, Audi, foreign cars and all. But when they move from the speed breakers, they have to take a cross angle. See, if the speed breakers are over here, if the car has to go, the car cannot go directly this way. Okay, the car has to go this way, this angle, 45 degrees angle, because the ground clearance level is very low for the foreign cars and all. Foreign imported cars and all, ground clearance level. What do you mean by ground clearance level? The space between the road and the car's body will be very low. Okay, it's not suitable for Indian roads. If you try to overthrow this speed breaker, it will definitely hit your lower bottom of the vehicle. So that's why most of the vehicles, what they'll be doing is they'll be taking this angle, 45 degrees angle. So they'll go by this and they'll go by this. Okay. So what happens is not appropriate for our Indian roads. Yes. And even then we buy because it's foreign car, we'll show our get and all. Okay. What is product design do? So it is all related to the activities and responsibilities. Very first point, it will understand and translate. So what is the requirement of the customer? Okay. That is called as voice of the customer. Please highlight this translation. That's what we call as translation. From voice of the customer to voice of the process. What the customer require and how it is being getting translated to technical requirements. Okay. For designing and execution planning and process. First point. Okay. Second point, we have to clearly differentiate. Probably differentiate in the sense that you have to show some type of difference in product life cycle. So we know this product life cycle, right? Okay. You have to show the existing products to stretch the product life cycle. Third, develop. This obviously you cannot go with the same product. You need to develop, at least you have to show some different changes. That's why we have so many car models. Okay, we say 2.0i, 3.0i. So some difference has to be shown. So new products, probably that may be related to marketing, product design and production. On quality course, there is no other thought. We had to go for quality assurance, production and all. Okay, then helps with cost optimization in accounting. Fifth point. Sixth point, building and testing model prototypes, marketing, production is related to, and documentation of the design specification. Please highlight this one. Probably the seventh point may not be directly dealing with the end users, but obviously, when I go for designing the next level, the new model level, then I have to know what is the specification of the current model so that I can go for the next one. So when you're planning to buy a car, you go to the car dealer, you ask what's the difference between this model and this model. There should be some model, which means the design specification has to be there. Okay. But this design specification doesn't mean only with respect to the interior or exterior model or the probably the color or body shape, or not only that, it completely gives a technical design also. Okay, maybe we may not be understanding those terminologies, but definitely the engineers who are manufacturing for the next level will be understanding. Okay, so that's about the product design. So we have a complete network diagram like, okay, so probably it's like a chart work. See, product design, where it goes is we'll go for marketing research, because actually marketing teams are people who are directly having face-to-face interactions with the customers. Okay, so marketing research will be done, and a sketch will be done, which is conceptual sketch. Then we'll evaluate the design. Then we'll go for creating a effect diagram. From the effect diagram, you create the initial form model. Then, if necessary, you go for implementing the design. So improve the design, and you go for manufacturing documents. Yes, this is a very important stage. Probably you will be working in this stage. Manufacturing document means you have to plan, right? See, when you plan for model to model, definitely there will be a small price rate difference. But at the same time, you cannot have a big change in the price. A small rate difference because of the small extra spec is okay. But you're having to have a very big price difference. Probably some BMW, it has been, I think, 2.2 TDI model, I think. That's around some 72 or 73 lakhs. Okay. If you're bringing a small change in this model, very small change, it cannot go beyond 80. Because of model change, you can fix the rate. You should not go beyond 80. If it is crossing 80 or 85 or something like that, then your model will become a flop. It will not have a product life cycle lengthier one. Please try to understand. What do you mean by product life cycle is probably introduction may be a smaller period, then growth, maturity, it has to go this way. Okay, if you have a smaller product life cycle, then it's going to boom up in the market, then fall down suddenly. Which means, oh, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கார் இருந்ததா will feel like that way. Okay, it should not be this way. Okay, so manufacturing documents is a very important stage, and then handmade model will be done, which means like miniature models also will be designed, and color management. Beautiful concept, color management. Color no, not that way, right? Color matters. Okay, what color you like generally? Black color, white color. Okay. Actually, white color is beautiful color. ஆனா குப்பை விழுந்தாலும் தெரியுமா? How you're going to manage it? Don't know. Okay, so color management is a beautiful theme. And you know that, see, leave off this normal uh, gas and petrol diesel vehicles. I'll go for EV vehicles. I don't know where they pick up those colors. See, we know the colors. We know all these pastel colors and other shining related colors and all. We know all these colors from where? Seeing the domes and Nataraj and canvas color pencils only. Okay, they find different colors. This green color. Okay, wherever you say can easily identify there is EV. I'm not talking about the number plate. I'm talking the color of the car itself. Okay. If anybody wears a green color and stands next to the car, you will not be identified. Okay. So this is like that. And adjustment documents. See, everything what you're planning may not be put it in the vehicle. Okay. So that's why we try all these one. And if necessary, we'll go for some related documents and all. And we'll go for the product graph, then modeling, and at last we'll go for finishing the product design. So it's not an easy work. And obviously, this is not all the work related to cost accountant. Okay, probably when you go about manufacturing documents, that may be related to cost accountant. Okay, probably at this level also, product graph may not be directly related. When we talk about quality, it's related directly with cost accountant only. Okay, so probably you might be placed as a quality control, which is a professional job. Okay, so you can just go through this graph. Shall I continue? Let me finish off this heading. It's actually a very small topic only. Let me finish off this heading. Factors affecting the product design. Yes, we need to know the needs. Okay. What are the customers expecting? What they want to have? So needs. Second, user-friendly products is depending on the demographic backgrounds. We have to check for the user-friendly products. Balanced from, which means from which form, for which functions, for which features is this cost related? It will be appropriate or not. So you need to get the appropriate balance. Also, go for quality of raw materials or basic ingredients. Also, selection and design of the process and layout. Obviously, that has to be matter. Then quality and conditions of the machine. Yeah, beautiful point. Sixth one. Quality and condition of the machines and instruments used. Capability and maturity of the process, skilled resource person is available or not for this job, and effect on the existing. Yeah, please highlight the ninth one. Let me go for the product life cycle. I'm talking about product DA, okay, in green color. This is my product D. Okay, let me go for another product B. I'm taking red color for product B. Probably when we talk about product A, this will be the maturity stage, right? So this will be, I'll draw dotted lines. I don't want to go for more of skipping. This is the growth stage. So the pen will go up over here. This will be the maturity stage. Then it declines. So declining will be most of the cases it will be like it will decline, 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 but it will not go as no. It's very rare. There are dodos also, but it will not go as no. Okay, dodos and war horses. Okay, when we start with this product B, the red color, probably when it has reached this stage, I may be starting over here, and when there is one product maturity there, it will go for growth and then mature stage. Okay, probably we have done this concept in SM. Stars, cash cows, the same concept I'm trying to explain in product life cycle. Which means if I am introducing this product B, see, soon after I introduce this product B, everyone will see there are two models in mobile phone. Which model will you choose? The shopkeeper clearly says this is old model, this is new model. And definitely for an old and new model, there will be thousand rupees difference. You're not worried about the cost. What you'll do? Why you need to go for the old model and we go for new model? Obviously, for what's the effect on the existing product? And obviously, you remember this example what we were discussing this Kodak camera. Remember Kodak camera? That camera invented by this Kodak. Actually, Kodak is having this reels. What is this reels? That photo reels. The negative, photo negatives. Okay, it will have some 36 or 37 photos. Where you can click 36 or 37 photos. If you want to go for the next slot, you have to change that reel. Okay, that's with hand cameras. Nowadays, it's all not, we are not using all those. Okay. See, what I'm trying to say here is this Kodak, they introduced this model where this camera was like size of toasters. Okay, and it can have this instant photos. Instant photo means what? You can put that film inside, that thick cardboard like paper inside, and it will click the picture, it will print it, and it will give immediately. Okay, probably if you go for any tourist places, you might find some photographers hanging the camera and all on it. I don't know whether this Kodak, but they use this type of camera. They introduced this camera, but after some 13 or 14 years only, they brought it to the market because it was affecting the existing product. What was the existing product? A normal camera costing some 1,500 rupees or 2,000 rupees. That is not giving big profit. But the rolls, the negative rolls, which was being sold for some 150 rupees or something. If you're going for tourist places, definitely I remember we'll be carrying like 10 to 12 rolls. If you're going like a family outing, like some 15 or 20 people going together, definitely one family, one roll. So you'll be carrying like some 10 of, see, camera worth is 1,500. One film worth is 1,150. And you're taking 10 rolls, 1,500. And you have to convert that into photographs. You're not going to keep it as rolls. You're going to convert that as photographs. So obviously that's going to cost another some 1,000 or 1,500. But if I introduce this model, the camera will not be working. The camera will be working. What about the reels? Will not be using at all. Okay, see, nowadays you take so many photos in mobiles, right? Okay, அப்படி பார்த்தா ஒரு photo, இப்படி பார்த்தா ஒரு photo. But how many, just you randomly see the photo. You'll not be checking all the photos. And you find that if any photo is not good, you delete it. But in those days, it was not like that. See, 36 or 35 photos will be available and you take the print of all the photos. And you cannot see that trial and error and all. One is taken out, okay, that's it, over. Okay, you cannot take early. Next, we'll go for characteristics of a good product design. So more or less repeated concepts. Probably we had to talk about quality. It has to satisfy the needs of the end customers. Reliability. It should be reliable, price worthy. It has to be offered at a affordable price to the target customers. Shorter design to market lead time. Okay. Shorter design means not shorter in size. The design should be such a way done immediately, quickly. It should not take a long time to make the design. Okay. See, we were seeing this chart, right? See, it involves so many processes, right? So how many processes are involved? Actually, this and all takes a lot of time. Probably I'm not going chart by chart work. See, marketing research definitely will take at least 3 to 6 months time. Okay, just randomly I'm talking. Conceptual sketch may be simultaneously done. It looks like this is the first process and this is the second process, but this will be simultaneously done. Design evaluation also might be done easily. Okay, and probably 15 or 20 days or 1 month period of time to be done. This and all is fine. Okay. When you go for this one, it will take a length of time. This one also will take a length of time. Design evaluation may be done easily, but when you go for improvement design, you have to do it in such a way that it gives real improvement. That is, you have to classify in the earlier structure. That is the earlier mobile phone design and this mobile phone design. You have to give a very clear structure. So this will take a long time. Handmade model probably because of doing that model will take time. Color management, this and all is normal. Product graph modeling, and this is the process time only. Like probably if you take some 4 days to make a car, this is just 4 days only because you have done so much of work before that. So just a 4 days work or just a 1 month work. So you cannot reduce or increase in that. Okay. So there are some few steps. It will take a long time only. No other go. You have to wait for that. Okay. So let me go for the next study. Characteristics of a. So I'm over here, right? Yeah. Fourth point. Shorter design to market lead time. So you design, which means shorter design means the time period should be in such a way that it has to take the market immediately. So when you go for designing the model, the finished design has to lead to the market immediately. The aesthetic product will create an immediate impression in customers' mind. What's beauty in that? Okay, and compactable, user friendly, and it should be available after sales support also. Like spare parts, it should be made available. Okay, and easily maintainable and reproductible and balanced should be there for standardized basic features and the augmented features is definitely. So I'm asking for a customized structure means there should be some customized value in that. Detailed specification should be there and it should be safe to use, error proof, and should not harm the environment and uses. I think this is 3.1. Yeah, can you please go through? Process design and selection. So we are going for next heading with respect to process design. When we talk about process, it considers all the activities that are performed to produce the final products as per the specification. So we have gone for the chart work, right? The earlier page and earlier page over here. So when we talk about the stage, final finished product design, then we'll go for defining all the specs. Documentation work will be done. We'll be defining all the specs. Then we'll go for design. So what are the activities involved? What are the resources will be involved? Everything has to be considered. Okay. So it will be concerned with the overall sequence of operations and it will specify what type of workstations will be used and machines, what type of machines will be needed and what type of equipment will be necessary to carry out the operations. Obviously, when you talk about the operations, you have to determine the sequence. If this determining the sequence depends on the nature of the product, what are the materials you're going to use and what are the quantities you're going to produce. Okay, depending on the existing facility, what is available in the layout, it will be done. Okay. Factors affecting the process design, which means specifications or characteristics, whatever it is. So when we talk about process, the very first thing goes with the nature or characteristics of the product. What type of product you are making. Then variety. What type of customization you make. Okay, we make tables. What type of tables? Only rectangular top, four legs, only brown color. There is it's a standardized one. We are sugar manufacturers. What sugar you make? Only white sugar. That's it. Now it is being changed to brown sugar and there are few more varieties. So make to order, make to stock maybe there, engineer to order or assemble to order. It may be, whatever it may be. Then volume, how much you're going to produce. Whether you're going to do it in single, so you know all these costing angles, right? You just think the job costing and other costing, batch costing, everything comes over. Single piece or batch wise or continuous production. Sugar is continuous production. Cement is continuous production. Okay. And level of involvement of human resource, whether you're going to make it completely automatic or semi-automatic or you're going to make it completely manual. What are the resources that may be required? You need missions only here. In case missions only means, which means it is going to be special purpose or general purpose mission. So general purpose means it will be helpful for doing many products, but special purpose means it can make only one product. Okay. So apart from missions, you need whether human capital, space, energy, raw materials, and other things. Expenditure. What are the cost of operations involved? What is the fixed cost and what is the overhead cost involved? And yes, seventh is a very beautiful point. Make or buy decision. Instead of I make here in house, what I do is I buy and just label it. All the AC units are being done that way only, right? We buy it and we label it. Okay, so extent of in-house make option or outsource buy option. So actually we'll go for three actions. Only two is mentioned. Either it's completely made or completely buy or partly made and partly buy. Which means 50% make, 50% buy. Else 40% make, 40%, 60% buy. For example, I may be in need of 1,000 units extra for next month to match the demand. Okay. Only for next month, 1,000 units will be needed. The very next month, I may be in need of 900 units. The very next month, I may be in need of 300 units. The very next month, I may be in need of 1,500 units. See, the demand is fluctuating. So if I plan for additional capacity of my mission, either I'm buying the mission or having some additional capacity in my mission, see, one time it may be helpful. See, what happens in this case? I'm going to keep it idle. So what I'll do here is, for the overall period, this I've just taken for 4 months. For the overall period for 12 months, I'll check what is the least demand. Probably for 300 is the least demand. Then what I do is I expand my capacity to 300 units by default. So far, my machine was working for 10,000 units. Now I plan to make 300 units extra for each and every month. Then I can make 10,300 units. In case next month I need 1,000 units extra, I can make 300. Remaining 700, I can buy outside, which means it's going to be 30/70. The next month, 900. It will not be 30/70. It will be lesser. The next month, 300. Completely made. The next month, 1,500. Different proportion. So that's what they say. It either may be make or either may be buy or both. That's why you use the term called as extend. Please highlight. Usually we say make or buy decision only. Because of this word extend, we can elaborate this in such a way that we utilize all the proportions. Is it okay? Shall I take over? Process choice determines the following whether the resources are organized around products or processes. Beautiful question, Papa. You have to ask this question before you start your work. Whether you're going to organize around the product or the process, which means your goal is process oriented or product oriented. With the help of resources you are producing, that is the manufacturing, or with the help of the customer satisfaction, you're going to produce. Okay. And the volumes and degree of customization, these are the normal cases only. Process types, we have five types. First one, job shop. Job shop is for each and every job will do the work. Example, a tailor can be taken for each and every dress. He has to go for customization. Okay, so low volume with high variety of goods. Is it okay? Actually, it's, most of the cases, job shop goes for intermittent process only. Probably each job will require somewhat different processing requirements will be there. And the job shops will be often carrying on job works for other firms also. When we say job shop, actually it's not doing it, it's doing for other firms. Okay, characteristics, high customization, which means you can make to order, high flexibility of equipment, skilled labor will be there, but low volume. Please highlight. Low volume. Example, two and die shop. Okay. Probably you may expect these in one word questions, data related questions. Okay. Tool and die shop is a job shop costs. Flexible flow strategy will be there because high variety of customization, right? High variety of goods I'm making. So I will have to go for flexible flow strategy. So that's about the first one. Second type, batch, we go in batch. Here it will be moderate volume. See, first case was low volume. Here it will be moderate volume. But obviously there will be variety of goods and service. Compared to the first one, there is high variety of goods and service. Here is variety of goods and service. So there is a difference. Only by a single word, it's totally changing the status. First one, high variety of goods and service. Here, variety of goods and service will be there. Then low volume. Here it is moderate volume. Volumes are higher because same or similar goods and services are repeatedly provided. Please highlight. It's repeated. Okay, it's repeated. And compared to job process, differs in respect of volume and variety. Yes, we have discussed. Like paint, ice cream, soft drinks. Yes, We have varieties, many varieties. At the same time, what we have, if you go for vanilla, you see, vanilla is the flavor where we get in all the ice cream brands. Whether you go for quality wall, Amul, probably the taste might be somewhat different, but vanilla flavor will be there in all wherever you go. Okay, books and magazines obviously happens. Okay, so here are all variety is there, but not much variety, but still is there. Okay, shall I go for the third one? Repetitive or what you call as line process. Line process means it goes for continuously. That's what you call as line process. Suitable for higher volumes of more standardized goods or services. Slight flexibility will be there. So probably we are fixing with respect to the product only. So slight flexibility there. No skilled labor power. Probably if you go for tea factories and all, they'll not have a big thing and all. They have their one lady will hold a stick and she'll be mixing all this component. That's it. She'll not do anything. Okay. Another one lady, she'll hold a stick and she'll be tapping that machine to make some alignment with the coffee borders, coffee leaves. Maybe. Only that thing she'll do. You might have visited in some hill stations, the coffee and tea estates and all. Okay. Resources are organized around the product or service. Example, automobile. It's like a normal job. Home appliances, TV sets, computer, toys are all normal shops. Okay, normal. What is called as line process means it will done in assembly lines. If you go for automatic uh, automobile assembly line, you can find it over there. Okay. Strategy, manufacture to stock. Yes, please highlight. This might be helpful for your exam point of view. Manufacture to stock. Okay. You meet the demand. At the same time, you have to manufacture to meet out the stock. Sustainable, suitability standard products for health. Obviously, that's also for helpful for holding good inventory. Assignment to order will be there. You'll go for customization, but it's not just one or two customization because one or two becomes chopper. Here it's repetitive, it becomes mass customization. Probably automobiles, model of the car, mass customization. It will be done in heavy number of units, but mass customization. Okay. So then, shall I take over? Fourth one, continuous process. Yes, where it is suitable. A high standard, very high standardized product in very high volume. Let me go for the example directly. Sugar, petroleum products, steel, flour, paper, cement, fertilizer. This sugar factory is being run for 100 years. 100 years, what you are doing? Only same white color sugar they are manufacturing in tons and tons and tons. See, that's why it's continuous. Night and day, what they do, the same process. All the 365 days, all the 366 days, what they do, the same process. All over the years of the company, what they do, the same process. That's why it's sugar, petroleum, steel. See, we're not talking about the byproducts or the additional products. We're not talking about those. We are talking about the main product, what they do. So they do the same thing. Okay. So almost no variety in output. Please highlight almost no variety. So you need not go for flexible system operation system, right? Because you're going to make one standard product only. Extreme high end volume, standardization product with rigid line flows. Okay, it goes in a proper line only. Capital intensive because round the clock you have to operate. If there is small mistake in the machinery, the tons and tons of stock will be holding. So that will be a big, very big loss. So if you maximize the equipment utilization, you have to work all around the clock and you have to provide this machinery systems on a proper way. Okay. To avoid expensive shutdowns and shuts. Okay. Next project process. So far we discussed that where it's happening inside the factory, but what happens here is for particular shopping center, we have to go to that workplace and build the shopping center, right? For dams and bridges, for construction of a factory, for hospital, we have to go to that place and build it. Okay, I may be having an expertise knowledge in constructing hospitals. Okay, but each and every hospital is a different project. Okay, I may be planning to construct a KMC hospital in 10 cities, aims in 10 cities. But even though I'm constructing in 10 cities with the same model, the same specification, it's 10 different projects for me. Okay, so if each and everything is a new one. Okay, so high degree of job customization, large scope for each project, and need for substantial resources. Yeah, beautiful point. Please highlight. What do you mean by substantial resources? Means see in Jammu and Kashmir, I have this project aims. Okay, in Delhi I have aims. Okay, for this aims I'll be having a team of workers. For this aims I'll be having a team of workers, which means I need to have a separate resources for both whether it's raw materials or the skilled laborers or low skilled laborers. For this, I need to have a different team. For this, I have to have a different. That's why I say it's a different project. I cannot say let the Jammu and Kashmir this what Simla's project get over and then it'll come for Delhi. No, we cannot say that. It has to happen simultaneously. It has to happen simultaneously. Okay. Then nature is very complex and long time it takes, probably 3 years or 4 years or something like that. Complex activity will be involved. Equipment flexibility should be there. Yeah, please highlight this one. Equipment flexibility should be there. It's not should be of standard type. And labor skills can range from low to high. Heavy, highly skilled, semi-skilled, low skilled labor. Okay, depending on the type of products. Okay, so that's about five types. Third one, product life cycle, PLC. In SM, we were discussing that same concept of business life cycle. Okay, whatever it is business life cycle or product life cycle, if it is business life cycle means we say it is an introductory business, then grows, reaches a mature stage, and actually it will not touch the line, it will go on declining. Okay, at one point of time it will be there. Okay, Uh, but this point is very, very rare situation. When you talk about this point, it's very, very, very rare situation. Okay. Probably when the age of the business is very mature, probably they have to plan another new product so that this stage is not reached by the business. Okay. And remember in SM we were discussing this five dominant positions. Uh, Dominant, monopoly, weak, strong, tenable. Okay. I think tenable over strong over here. So it will be like this monopoly, dominant, strong, tenable. Tenable means what? Okay, manageable, that's what. And weak. If it is coming in a weak position, means next it has to go for closing the business. So it depends on how it is being stated. So if this happens to be the business life cycle means, okay, let me have this time. This is the business life cycle. Okay. See, the business is nothing but delivering the product. This will be the product life cycle. Please try to understand. Okay. When you talk about product, we talk about these small, small curves. When you talk about business, we talk about one single curve. But it's the same content. Okay. So product life cycle, similar to the life cycle of a business organization, as human beings. Okay. The cycle is during the usable life of a product is collectively called as the PLC. Please highlight. That may be helpful for one word questions. We'll discuss in four stages usually. We'll discuss in four stages usually. Introduction stage, growth stage, maturity stage, and decline stage. We have to understand the slope goes in an increasing way, then it goes still in an increasing way, but it's steeper than the introduction stage. Then the curve turns below. You'll find the curve concave to convex. We call this as concave to convex. Turning below, this is what we call as the maturity stage. Once it has reached a maturity stage, then it's going for the declining stage. So it's going to be almost like no more. So you have to be ready with new product. If you're not ready with new product at this level itself, then definitely it's a bit messier. Okay. Should I take over? So introduction space, new product or a new variant is introduced. See, we are talking about product. We are not talking about business. We are talking about product. Is introduced first time in the market. So what happens? I don't know how many will buy my product. So you'll make it in low volume. Obviously, low sales will be there. See, volume is low. How can I expect high sales? Okay, that's no logic at all, right? So low volume, no sales. Learning curve also will not be realized. So you'll not be talking about much profit and all. Low return on investment. Higher level of expenditure will be there because you have to promote your product, advertisement and other this thing and all. And it depends on the innovativeness. Yes, how are you going to fix the pricing? How far a product is innovative? That's how we can fix the pricing. And in nature of the target customer segment. And discounts have to be given to the potential customers. If you are ready to buy my product, then how will you get it attractive? You have to give some discounts so that only I'll try to buy it. Okay. Next is growth phase where they are expanding on rapid revenue generation and not only the market growth also is also higher. And during this phase, product sales aims to cover the fixed cost. Please highlight. There we were saying that learning curve is not realized. Okay. Here we say that we now record the fixed cost. We'll try to reduce the overhead because the sales volume will be increasing now. Okay. And leverage prior learning. So we'll understand what is going to the demand in future. Okay. And strategic selection will not go too much of advertising and promotional thing and all, but we'll either plan. We cannot totally stop. Decided according to the level of growth you have to count. Okay. And objective to hold the existing customer and also to create the new customers. So you have to highlight this one. If you are in the growth, if the product is in the growth stage, then definitely you have to plan for holding the new customer, existing customer and creating the new customer. Then goes to the maturity phase. It's a critical phase when you compare for the growth one. When you go for actually there is a comparison for both the growth and maturity phase one. The objective is to achieve fast growth. Flatten the curve to slow down the movement towards fall down. Please highlight in the growth phase. See, instead of directly steeping in up, what you do is you flatten the curve like this. See, so that your period, if this is your growth, your period is only this one, right? If this is your growth curve, then your period is from here to here. See, you're getting a lengthy period. If you get a lengthy period, then there is a period available for you to launch the next product. Because where you start with the next product is over this period only. You agree? Over here. See, the next product, this is the first step. The next product will be started over here only. So you get a lengthy time to introduce another product over there. If the space is very less, what happens? If the growth space is very less, then the next product to be introduced in the market will get very less time. So probably that product is not being suitable or that product is not giving a hit. That also a flop then. So you're not planning in such a way. So that's why this is the flatten the curve to slow down the movement toward fall down. So what you do is you still do the promotional thing like giving discounts or giving extra like 1-to-1 offer or 20% off, so on like that. Okay, you try all this. Maturity phase is infusion of product variety and differentiation. Yes, you have to do that because you have to go for new product life cycles over here. Aggressive promotional and pricing programs have to done. See, aggressive first time it's not going to be aggressive, but you have to promote the product. Here you're not promoting the product alone. You have to focus on the price and also actually when you go for promotion and advertising in maturity phase, it becomes a business promotion. See probably how the Reliance and other ITC companies and other automobile companies are doing this promotional advertising campaign and IPL matches. That's a mass campaign. Why they do it? Because they need to have the product. See, aggressive promotion is not with respect to the product. Probably pricing may be with respect to the product, but promotion happens only not with respect to the product, but for the whole business. So for all the products maturity life space, all the company will be planning in this way. Okay. And profit margin is comparatively lower the stage per. Yes, it cannot be explained. See, growth stage is the cash flow stage. Here, probably you have to push it and you have to try to widen the gap, widen the building. Okay. Fourth one, decline phase after maturity, the products lose their attractiveness. Obviously, sales get falling down, profit margin increasingly becomes narrower. Scrap the product or you focus on cost consolidation. Somehow or the other, you have to protect your company. That's about the business. Okay. Or you can go for revival planning, you can go for either product differentiation or promotion strategy. So this is basic general concepts of PLC, but whereas if we go for high-tech product, we can define with respect to the stages as this the curve. See, all the curves are not similar way. One may be like this, or one may be like this. Please try to understand, right? Okay, one may be like this. Okay, product to product differs. So when we go for high-tech product, see, it's like a not more steeper, less steeper like, then it takes up somewhat a big speed, then goes up and then it falls down. And it looks like it's not like a drastic fall down, but falls down on a slow-paced manner, decline stage. Okay, this is for high-tech product. But whereas we go for FMCG, see, beautiful curve of FMCG. What is highlighted between the earlier one and this one? FMCG will get another one stage, think saturation stage. If you go for buying salt, normal salt, Tata salt, Ashirwad salt, okay. Realistic thing we have two or three salts that will be saturated in the market. D Tata for maybe chapatis. Pillsbury, Ashirwad, Tata goes up, saturated. It will be on the market, but obviously at one point of time it might be declining, but it will be a very slow process. So when you talk about FMCG, there will be one more stage added. So you have an introduction stage. See, the introduction stage, very slow introduction. I make Ashirwad, I use Ashirwad atta only for making chapatis. Once I bought this Pillsbury, once I bought this fortune, I just forgot to make. chapatis because I don't know how to make chapatis. For Ashika Data, somewhat in the midnight, I wake up in the midnight, I won't keep alarm and all. Directly, I go to the kitchen. While sleeping itself, I take a small quantity of water, I take small quantity of milk, heat it, mix everything, I keep it in the fridge and come off. The chapati will be so soft because Ashika. Everyone will be praising me. Yamuna does chapati so very nicely. In my daughter's school, there is a big fan. Even the teachers say, "How do you make chapati, ma'am?" While you are sleeping, ma'am. Okay, sometimes you wake up this midnight, right, 2:30 or 3 o'clock. I make the definitely go to sleep. That's it. But I have tried this with Pillsbury. I have tried this with the fortune thing and all. It's not working out for me. Okay, so tell me whose fault is this? I'm good making good chapatis or chapati mouth is not good. Okay. See, the introduction stage, in case in future ITC is not going to bring this beat Ashifat, what I have to do? I'll be shifting either to Pills or Fortune. Definitely, I have to switch the next plan. But it will take a very slow growth, right? Anyway, I try in one shop, I try in another shop. It's not available. It's available in third shop, which is 5 kilometers away from home. What I do is I go and buy. Or I place an order in online where he's having a delivery fee. I will order online, even though there's a delivery fee. Even though I get this Fortune one buy one and get one offer, I go for Ashwagandha. For Fortune, we have this 1+1 offer. For Ashirvad, we don't have this offer. Even now we have this. For Ashirvad, we don't have. The same cost, I can make 20 chapatis here, I can make 10 chapatis. Okay, so still I don't know Ankila because everybody praises me. Saying a chapati is good man. See, interaction is very slow, especially when it goes for FMCG. I use Pepsodent. I want to shift for Colgate. It's very rare that I won't shift. Okay. Then it goes for growth. Once it goes for maturity, then it will not go for decline. Actually, this complete is maturity only. But because it is actually when you say saturation means it's taking a very steep, very less and very less steep. Okay, so you'll not find this type of a concave and convex. Okay, when you say concave means this shape, right? What you call as concave, and this shape is what you call as convex. This you cannot find. See, when you just draw a line, you can draw it as touching many points. This is what you call as saturation stage. It's a beautiful stage. This happens only in FMCG. Only once asked in the exam. When the question was like PLC, particularly for FMCG, we have to discuss the fifth stage. Okay, can you please make a note of it? I think 3.3 is done. Yes, please. So process planning and selection is topic number 4. What do you mean by process planning? It's a strategy. Okay. It focuses on going for smooth execution of the activities to produce the intended products. So actually means you are planning and you go for selection. Actually, you cannot say this is the only process involved. That may be related to facility. That may be related to the layout. What do you mean by layout? This is your location. You plan where to place which one. This is the layout. What type of work systems you needed and how you're going to design the operating procedures, capacity planning, where you have to arrange which equipment and resources, and what type of HR. What are the factors that influence this process design? Variety and volume of products, degree of equipment flexibility. We have done all these earlier. Okay, just list out here. Flow of activities, there is the sequence of activities. Which one has to come, which one? Long-term efficiency and productivity will be checked. Resource availability has to be checked. How far it's flexible. Cost and benefit analysis will be done. Quality of the products and lead time. Premises on which the strategy stands. So it is on trade-off between make and buy decisions. I'm going to make or I'm going to buy. Making is in-house conversion. Either you can do it fully or partially. Likewise, buying means outsourcing. Either you do it fully or you do it by okay, partially. Degree of capital intensity. So how far you're going to make it automated and how far you're going to make it manual operation. Extent of flexibility. So what type of workstation, how many machines you require and what are the skills of the workers employed, like semi-skilled or whatever it is. We'll focus on three focus areas. For what is, see already we have done in this second chapter, job shop production. Okay, designed in process-centric way. We are talking about the job, so it will be discussing on jobs only. Flexible enough to adopt frequent changes and allows a higher degree of customization. See, job shop means it allows a higher degree of customization. We do variety of goods. Product flexibility there. Example, aircraft can be taken. Please highlight. We are focusing this job shop protection on process focus. Okay, so aircraft will be considered only. Okay. Product focused, we have to go for steel, glass, paper, electric bulbs. These are the examples where it becomes product centric and also it allows higher level of standardization. So probably we'll go in higher volume. So steel now we do it on higher volume, right? So continuous flow and batch production also will be considered. See, for process it is job shop. Here it is continuous or batch. Okay. And incurs a higher amount of fixed cost. Obviously, it will become more capital intensive. Okay. Next is repetitive focus or assembly production, like automobile and household appliances may be considered. Okay. So we'll be using the smaller production. So probably you can go for a chart for this one. So this is the perspective volume, the horizontal axis, and the vertical line is about the variety. Variety means how far it is flexible when you go for low volume and low variety, actually it's a poor strategy. When you go for low volume and low variety, there's not going to be a big size business. It's not going to be a big size firm. Probably you might be a small tailor like. You may not be a designer also. You might be a small tailor like. So it's actually a poor strategy because variable cost will be high because you have to design low volume with low variety only. When you go for one step higher, where the volume is same but the variety is more, what is when standardization might be done? Okay. Likewise, if you go over here, okay, probably over here, product focus. What happens here is product focus when you go for steel product, glass, or even breads. Okay, FMCG, right? So in that case, long runs will be there. Yes, obviously. Definitely, even during the COVID pandemic time, we are made available breads. Okay. Changes in attributes may be there. Sometimes when we talk about glass or when we talk about steel, grade, quality, size, and thickness varies. For mobile, we use a different grade of glass. For kitchen tops, we use a different glass, thickened glass and other things on top. Okay. Yeah. So repetitive focus, we goes with motor slugs. For process focus, we go for projects, job shop, machine printing, carpentry, and all. Okay. So this goes with high variety. Probably one or few units per run will be there. So maximum will go for customization because projects, right? Maximum will go for customization. Okay. I can just have a look. Shall we go for process layout selection? Process layout selection. You just check what type of production facility is needed. So accordingly, you'll fix it. Okay. You just need to identify the arrangement, right? Minimize unnecessary movements. So obviously, you have to work like here. One machine is here, one machine is here, over here, and over here. First, the product has to go from outside, that is from the raw material go down, or just in time inventory to the first machine. After here, working for 30 seconds or the 3 seconds, it will go for the second mission. After that, you should not return again, which means if it has to wait for some 2 more seconds to do the next process, let it wait. Else, it has to get repeated from in another machinery, first one, then buy another machinery and keep it over here. Because cross movements and unnecessary movements should be avoided. Okay, not only inside the factory layout, also for the transportation. Unnecessary movement should be avoided. You have to efficiently handle the machinery. And not only that, check what type of design and accordingly what type of workstations are necessary over there and removing the bottlenecks and constraints should be there. What do you mean by bottlenecks? Probably you might be knowing, let me go for a fast recall. If there are three machinery, this machinery can process 1,000 units for 1 hour, this machinery can process 800 units for 1 hour, this machine can process 900 units in 1 hour. Even though there are three different capacities, this machine, the least working machine, only 800 hours, 800 units it can do, which means it becomes a bottleneck. So you cannot expect more than 800 units in the whole process. Thus becomes the bottleneck. Okay. So effectively utilizing the spaces. So objective is obviously going to create value addition in your performance. Right? We'll go for four types of layouts. One is process or what you call as functional layout. See, somewhat this is similar to what we had done earlier, job shop and other things. Okay. So when they say what are the types, please we'll go over there with respect to products. Here we'll go for layouts. So process or functional. So similar type of missions and services will be located together now. Please highlight. It's very important. When we say about milling operation, all the missions related to milling operation will be there and it's called as milling department. Okay. So each such sub-facility will be specialized in performing a particular activity only. Okay, please highlight all these words. When is suitable means low volume, high variety products is suitable and it is produced by job shop. See, we are linking both the concepts. Produced by job shop. Sometimes depends on the variety of products will go for batch production and other non-repetitive processes. Not going to be repetitive. Okay. Furniture, restaurants, and all. Next, we'll go for product or line layout. So whenever we come across this line, we'll talk about continuous production. Am I right? So there will be a logical or sequential flow of the activities. High volume will be there, continuous production will be there, where the level of customization will be low, which means mass customization will be there. Okay. And assembly line or mass production will be used in consumer electronics and automobile sectors. Is it okay? Third one, group or combination layout. It's a hybrid form of process and product. Please highlight one. Combines both process and product layout feature. Individual processes are replicated at multiple times. Please highlight. Individual processes will be repeated many number of times depending on the need for the process. Cellular manufacturing, minimizing the transportation cost and material handling will be done. Next is fixed position or project layout. Especially we go for aircraft, ships and all. Okay, we go to that place and we work out over there. So material, people, workstations, they move. The resources what we have, we move to the project level. Okay. So single use, highly customized, engineered to order product type. So this product type is what you call as engineered to order. That will be helpful for one more person. Please highlight. What do you mean by engineered to order? Means all the people, missions, etc., will be moving to that particular locality. Okay. So we have this PVLF matrix. Let me go for this chart work. LF is over here. See, already we have done this in the earlier chart. This is PV. PV is product and volume, okay, in the horizontal angle. And LF is layout and the material flow. F is flow, material flow. So this is in the horizontal way, okay. It is not so very clear. Somewhat okay, right? See, job shop, flow extremely varied, very many products, one or each of them, one or few of each will be done. That is highly customized. Okay. When you go for batch flow, cellular layer flow varied with patterns. So batch by batch, flow varied with patterns. Many products, but somewhat low volumes. When you go for operator-based line flow, many products, medium volumes. So flow mostly regulated. And when you go for this one, equipment-based line flow, it goes with this one. Okay, where equipment-based regular flow will be there, and several products high volumes will be done. And continuous flow means one product very high volume will be done. Okay, continuous means very high volume, but only one product, sugar, cement. Actually, the highlight here with PVLF matrix is this JIT concept. Here at all, JIT is not helpful here at all. But here, when you go for flexible manufacturing system with respect to one is operator based and equipment based, here only JIT will be helpful. So automobiles, it will be helpful. Okay, so you can just make a note of this. Actually, this is a different matrix cell. So actually, this is a four-dimensional matrix. But even though we talk about two axes like x-axis and y-axis, we are talking about four variables. This is often repeated in the exam point of view. One is the product, right? So PVLF. So PVLF. So P is the number of products which you use. There is a volume. Not sorry, not the volume. Products variety, design and other things. Second is volume. So V. These two in the horizontal line. Okay. And layout and arrangement. So probably L. Probably we're discussing line flow, operator based, line flow, equipment based. Okay. And flow of material L. So it's actually these two in vertical line. So one, two, three, four. It's a four cell matrix layout. Okay, four variables. So often asked in the exam. So that's a fifth heading, design thinking. So you have to think on the designs and depending on the product and process, you will understand. Please highlight the definition is quite very important. It's a non-linear iterative process. What do you mean by non-linear is you're not going to do the same thing. You have to think in a different way. That's why they say it's non-linear. It's an iterative process. What do you mean by iterative process? We try one. If it's not working out, we'll try slightly in a different way, slightly in a different way. That's what we go for trial and error. Like that's what we call as iterative. Till that what works out clearly. That seeks to understand user needs, challenges assumption, redefine problems. Sometimes we might be saying that if we define this in a better way, problem that's not going to solve the problem. That may be creating more problems. So we redefine the problem, okay, in a better way, and create innovative solutions to prototype and we test. So there are five phases. So obviously, got we go for basic stage. First one, research your user needs. So you have to know what is the customer wants, what they needed. So you need to understand their problem. So the solution for the problem is going to be a product, right? Uh, Probably human-centered design process will be here. Then second stage you define. So you know you have done the research. Now you define. You define means you just list it out. What are the problems? What are the needs? What are the problems? And you design to that stage. So you make some observation and you synthesize them. Okay. And these definitions are what you call as a problem statements. Okay, if you're not keen with this terms means you might be feeling like somewhat tough because you will not find this line anywhere. Problem statements. Problem statements is defined in stage two because you state the user needs and you define just the problem. That's why you call it problem statements. Then you ideate, which means you take it as challenge assumptions and create to defining the ideas. That's what thinking is. To think outside the box. So you go for identifying innovative solutions. So how the problem statement can be solved. Okay, brainstorming session may be created. Brainstorming means we go for taking the feedback and other things. Okay. Next is stage four, prototype. Start to create the solutions. It's actually an experimental stage only. You cannot exactly say that you have found the solution for the problem. You cannot exactly say to that. So sometimes it may be expensive. Sometimes you have to go for other versions and all. You have to investigate the ideas. So it goes on. Sometimes it looks like somewhat you have not done anything new. It goes like a simple paperwork problem. So it's not. That's why we say it's iterative. It goes on and on. Then we go for testing whether it's working. Okay, so this is a finalist phase. You rigorously test the prototypes. Design thinking is iterative. You often use the research to redefine. Yeah, please make a note of the third point. Teams often use the research to redefine one or more further problems. You make further iterations, alteration, and refinements, etc. Somebody can just go through. Okay, Pam, that's our third topic. Thank you, Pam.